session of the workshop. Since we're a little bit in a hurry because some people are going to leave at 12 o'clock. So we're going to start straight away with Halima Pierre.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I would like to thank Vittorio and Jean-François for this. So I will talk about relationship between stem cells and materials for bone regeneration. So in this wonderful review, the concept of material biology was introduced, and it studied the influence of biomaterials composition and intrinsic biophysics on cell function as cell adhesion, proliferation, migration, and differentiation. So for bone, three main topics have been identified: ceramics for chemical composition, stiffness with stiffness close to bone range, and nanodisordered topography. In our laboratory, in collaboration with the l'équipe of Pierre Schaff in team of Pierre Schaff in Strasbourg, we developed automated spray simultaneous spray coating. So under controlled pressure and environment, we sprayed simultaneously solution saturated with cell calcium and cell phosphates. And we obtained this coating with spherical shape calcium phosphate, and we could modulate thickness, roughness, and elasticity of the coating by increasing number of cycles of spray. So our setup was conducted under mild condition in pH and temperature, and we tried to introduce some molecules. So this calcium phosphate coating was biocompatible and osteoinductive. However, bone is hybrid materials composed of inorganic and organic matrix. So in our lab, we tried to build a coating, hybrid coating, by introducing chitosan and hyaluronic acid. So chitosan is positively charged, react with hyaluronic acid negatively charged, and form the complex. So by a physical characterization showed that introducing chitosan and hyaluronic acid didn't influence on the shape of calcium phosphate, did not influence roughness of this coating, however, decreased significantly elastic modulus of the coating. Regarding chemical composition, we obtained this main peak of hydroxyapatite by Raman, but with FTIR we observed the formation of some phases as bullshit. Our hydroxyapatite is poorly crystalline and carbonated, and we observed that particles are dispersed on polymeric film, which are highlighted by black arrow. Calcium phosphate is a bioactive coating, so we soaked our coating in culture media, and we measured calcium and phosphorus concentration in the medium, and we observed that addition of polymers into our coating reduced significantly the ions deposition on the surface. So conducted under mild condition. We built this coating on titanium for orthopedic surgery and on polymeric membrane for dental applications. Regarding biocompatibility, we studied the influence of stem cells and the behavior of stem cells on this coating. Our stem cells are sensitive to the environment and adhere to the substrate, express some mechanosensors molecules at the membrane, which are integrins, recruit at the focal adhesion proteins, which influence and reorganize fiber actin and cytoskeleton. This cytoskeleton organization influence also nucleus behavior and nucleus morphology, which lead to the expression of specific proteins necessary for cell function as growth, differentiation, survival, necrosis, or apoptosis. So in our work, we use human stem cells as introduced yesterday by Hervé Petit, and we cultured our cells on our surface without no addition of osteogenic molecules, because BMP2 is not allowed to use in maxillofacial application in Europe. So we studied we followed the expression of adhesion molecule, reorganization of cytoskeleton and nucleus, and expression of markers. So after a week, on our calcium phosphate, cells behave differently than on glass and form a small colony. On this colony, cells switch from morphology from fibroblastic, which is known for stem cells, to polygonal morphology, which is more characteristic of osteoblasts. So these cells express integrins, which are mechanosensitive molecules, recruit at the edge of cells vinculin, and maintain this vinculin at this position because cells are under traction. In contrast, on the glass, we observe the vinculin around the nuclei. And this results on reorganization of cytoskeleton, which fibers are oriented perpendicularly one to each other, or for cells that are aligned along a cell axis. So 3D reconstruction show that nuclei in blue are embedded into the cytoskeleton network, in contrast to on our coating, we observed a cytoskeleton arranged around the nucleus. Using atomic force microscopy, we observed a significant increase of cells elasticity on our substrate compared to the glass. So, reorganization of cytoskeleton influence and induce nuclear remodeling, and we observe that nuclei of cells on substrate have a nuclear aspect ratio less than 1 point. In the glass, nuclei are elongated with ratio more than 1.80. So we measured chromatin condensation when we observed that significant increase of chromatin condensation on our bio-inspired substrate. So chromatin condensation could means an early stem cells differentiation of on our bio-inspired surface. So this was true because we have identified early, intermediate, and late markers of osteoblast on our substrate. However, only small proportion of stem cells are able to commit into osteoblast lineage. So we focused on the secretion of specific factors as osteoprotegerine, which inhibit osteoclastogenese, VEGF and BFGF, which are both angiogenic factors which increase vascularization. So using this on this medium, we observed an increase of endothelial cells recruitment with this medium. So osteoblast differentiation at long term of culture formed a 3D structure. This 3D structure are multilayered cells embedded onto extracellular matrix, which is mainly collagen, but we have also some glycosaminoglycan which could be attributed to the cartilage differentiation. And using transmission electron microscopy, we observed collagenous with striation corresponding to collagen type 1, and we observed mineralization of collagen. Immunohistochemistry showed the expression of the presence of osteoblast and also osteocyte into bone-like nodule. So in our surface, we observed that cells are able to attach, to adopt a morphology in order to increase or to express bone markers and to release factors regulating bone regeneration. But in our laboratory, orthopedic surgeon asked about bacterial adhesion. What about bacterial adhesion? Because 10% of failure of prosthesis are attributed to the infection. So we checked if our coating prevent bacterial adhesion, and we observed a significant decrease of bacterial adhesion when we added molecules as chitosan and hyaluronic acid. And we observed which significant decrease of bacterial adhesion after 24 hours of Staphylococcus aureus, which is the main bacteria infected bone, and another bacteria is not related to bone but are a model for biofilm formation, and this bacteria was adhesion of this bacteria completely inhibited. So, yes.
Relative size of this with respect to the typical size of the cell.
IAS bacteria, I think it's 1 micron, and cells we have where it's very adhered and spread about 10 microns, 100 microns. So, yeah. So our substrate are able to induce early differentiation of stem cells and reduce bacterial adhesion. So next work are more focused on the characterization of the bone-like nodule and the extracellular matrix and the process of mineralization. So I'd like to thank all of my collaborators, my students, and you for your attention. You're welcome. Speed.
Any questions? Questions? Actually, I have one. If I saw correctly, at the beginning of your presentation, you showed that the is about 1 gigapascal stiffness.
Yes, true.
And you showed that you use it for different kinds of application with hard and soft materials. So I was wondering whether you looked at the effect of the substrate stiffness into the cell differentiation.
Alors, for CAP with more than 50 cycles, we couldn't perform cell culture because we have built on the glass and it's not stable. And we have more experiences on collagen membranes, but we don't have enough experience on mechanical testing to evaluate the elastic modulus. So I asked Isabelle for help because
The index of differentiation will certainly depend on the way you develop the substrate and the support you put around, I suppose.
But I think that it's not a good way to get stem cell differentiation. Our aim is to provide cells a suitable environment to secrete growth factor which regulate all the bone environment.
The shape of the cell and markers, the chemical markers. Going back to the shape of the cell, according to your experience, is a marker of a commitment of the stem cells? Is it enough to the shape?
No, because for this reason we have tried to investigate the becoming of cells after differentiation, and we show the formation of bone-like nodule as in vivo for bone embryogenesis. I don't think it's very complicated. Stem cells commitment into osteoblast is very complicated. Osteoblasts have different states of differentiation, and we don't have exactly markers for this differentiation. So we have to check different markers, and I'm not sure that we have a specific marker for stem cells commitment.
In particular, the shape?
No. It's not reliable, but it's predictive. Okay.
How do you measure the stiffness of the substrate?
By AFM.